Dear friends, today is the first day of the new year following Rosh Hashanah, Shana Tova, and as we wish now until Yom Kippur, Gemar Chasima Tova. May the final verdict and signing be for good for you and every individual Jew and the Jewish people in the entire world. Today is also Tzom Gedalia. It's a day that we're fasting as the last leader in Israel after the temple was destroyed. The first temple was assassinated, and it was the end of an era for the Jewish people from which we never fully came back in the same way. What I want to focus on today is the theme of this week. There are 7 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Today is the first inspiration series of this year, 5,781, but number 143 in our running series since COVID started. So the theme is Teshuva. We have 7 days in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur where we focus on Teshuva. Rosh Hashanah, we began proclaiming God as King, showing our subservience to God and our interest in following God fully and completely. And now we have to get ready for Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is a day of atonement. It's the day we have to truly repent and return to God. And over the next few days, based on the series in Hayom Yom that the Rebbe wrote in 1943 and 44, we will explain based on Reb Zusia Anapoli, who was a colleague of the Alter Rebbe, the founder of Chabad, a student of the Maggid Mizrich, very unique, highly intense, emotional, spiritual, great tzaddik. And once he heard an explanation about Teshuva from his teacher, and he said, it's way beyond me. I break it down into simple things. And there are 5 aspects to Teshuva based on the 5 letters of the word Teshuva, Taf, Shin, Vav, Beis, Hey. And from tomorrow we'll explain what each one is. I just want to say one point which the Rebbe emphasized, which is so important for us to remember. During this time of heightened awareness of Teshuva, of repenting, we really have to pay attention to what Teshuva really means, which is not so much repent. Repented meaning to change who you are to something new, but return. As a Jew, we at this time are returning to our inner selves. We are uncovering our true self. The true self within every one of us is a soul, a godly soul, which is complete and pure in her belief and her connection to God. And even if, God forbid, we sin, the soul may be brought into the sin because it's in the body, but it never participates in the sin. It cries every moment that the body is involved in a sin, the person is involved in a sin, and even after, because it's totally complete well with God. Rosh Hashanah is a time we start unlocking that great soul that lies as a treasure within us, to connect to it. And after the prayers of Rosh Hashanah, where we talked about God as our King and exalt the greatness of God who created the world and mankind and put us as the responsible ones in this world, he gave us an incredible resource. And that's a piece of himself inside every one of us. We have to return to ourselves, to our inner selves. Returning to our inner selves is touching the divine. And to illustrate the way the Rebbe did for a fellow who was very challenged in his faith, and he was looking for God and couldn't find God by seeing so many terrible things happening around him. And he makes his way to 770 to see the Rebbe, but realizing he can't get a private audience, he's told to stand outside when the Rebbe goes to the Ohel, his father-in-law's graveside, to pray. And there, when he goes out, you can maybe catch a minute of the Rebbe's time. And he turns to the Rebbe, stops the Rebbe, and says, Rebbe, I've been looking all over for God. I can't find God. Why is he hiding so much? Where is God? How do I find him? Where do I go to find him? And the Rebbe just pointed towards his heart and he said, just look inside. You don't have to go very far. It's right inside of you. Get in touch with your true self. Dig through the layers. Do a mitzvah. Open up the channel. Learn some Torah. Think about God a little bit. You'll find that you'll open up directly to the peace of God within you. And you don't have to look far. It's as clear as day. Our belief in God is not based on science and proofs. Our belief in God is as real as our existence is real, because it's inside of us. It's a part of us. And that's how we have to connect to God. In the days leading up to Yom Kippur, return. Return to yourself, and then you return to God. So God bless you. And Shana Tova again.